Hello. Welcome. Dare I say it? Dare I? No, I won't. Um, sorry, it's been no, I'm just kidding. It's great to have you. It's good to have you. Welcome, friends. Welcome one, welcome all. I'm not stalling for time as I try and hurriedly pull up Sean's Twitter. I wouldn't do that. What? I'm not trying to figure out what when is the last YouTube video I uploaded. I'm not. You're crazy. What are you on about? What are you talking about? I don't know when I uploaded my own videos. Get out of here. 5 days ago. Today's the 12th, the 7th. Oh, we got a lot of stuff to cover. Okay. Should I have started recording? Probably not. Just probably not. Right? I would, dare I say it, I would say I'm unprepared. No. I'll say it. I am unprepared. We have to cover everything from the 8th until now. I'm not having issues with my laptop. What on earth are you talking about? Okay. I do. Okay, there we go. Free agent Isaiah Livers. We're starting off with a banger. Signs a 2-way contract with the Phoenix Suns. Livers missed all of last season due to hip surgery. It's definitely hip surgery. It's not based off the fact that he has the basketball talent of a shriveled up liver just laying on the court. He is the basketball equivalent of chopped liver. I think that's fair. Shout out to Anthony Gill. Dallas Mavericks All-Star, AD, underwent a procedure to repair a detached retina he suffered during this season. I mean, that's brutal. All reports say he should be back, at least for training camp at the very least, which, yeah, it's a crappy injury, but luckily the recovery time for it, I've heard, isn't too bad. And I don't think it should have any long-term effects. But even if it does, I mean, I was able to get glasses for $200-300, including the exam, of course. I'm not buying like Versace frames, unfortunately. But even if it does, I mean, we've seen goggles be much more popularized. He could get the Kareem goggles. He could get like the Wendell Carter goggles. I mean, the options for our boy AD is truly endless. But no, just he should be fine. Credit to him for playing through that. Like that would suck. But yeah, glad to hear he will be okay. Shea, cover of NBA 2K26. I don't take any issue with this, but put some more effort into the cover 2K. Just a thought. I'm not saying you need to do anything crazy. Like, I'm not expecting Picasso here, but, you've had a lot of paint incorporated into your last couple. You had Devin Booker on a beautiful Phoenix background. I mean, you can add a little bit more. Thunder, lightning. I mean, that feels like an easy thing to incorporate. If you have not seen the cover, I will do my best to show it to you. I can't flip my camera around, as it turns out. They did add Mellow, which I love, but here's the 2K26 cover. Here's the Mellow cover. And then I guess here's all the covers. Is that Angel Reese? Is that Angel Reese? If so, that's going to be very, very funny. Oh my god, it is Angel Reese. That is hilarious. No Sabrina Ionescu. No, Caitlin Clark. No, well, now I got to read up on this. NBA 2K defends the decision to have Angel Reese grace the cover over Caitlin Clark. She's got next. Angel Reese is your NBA 2K26 at WNBA cover athlete. No disrespect to her. She's nothing insane. I mean, you have Nafisa Collier, Stewart, Alicia Gray, Bukers, Williams, Diggins, Sue Bird, I think, is retired at this point, but Elia Boston, there's another one. Ionescu, I think I said, Asia Wilson, Kelsey Mitchell, Agwu Mike, I think is her name. I don't know, but like there's a lot of other teams. Did Angel Reese even make the All-Star team? Also, has Asia Wilson been on a 2K cover? Because if she hasn't, that's ridiculous. Okay, it looks like she has. Okay, good. I was gonna say, because that would be criminal if she wasn't. That would be, like, genuinely upsetting. Like, I would be upset. I would. I don't even watch a ton of the WNBA, but yeah, I would be upset. Diamond Dust, just a kid from Baltimore turning dreams into reality and hoping I can inspire young women and men everywhere to do the same. The most brilliant diamonds take pressure, polish, and time. Reebok is back, and the diamonds are shining for... She's got her own shoe? I'm gonna kill my toilet if it doesn't stop being dumb. Fill up. Like, I know that, I won't say their name, did a shit job fixing you, but fill up. Okay, All-Star this year, it looks like. I don't know, there's a star next to her name on B-Ball Ref. This year, 13.3, down from last year. 12.8 rebounds, down from last year. Not a very good passer, if I can find her assists. 4 up. I mean, that's better. Her offensive rebounds, down 1. Field goal percentage, up 3%. Still not great. I mean, don't get me wrong. She could destroy me, probably. Yeah, no, she definitely could. But, I mean, let's look at... I don't know. Sabrina Ionescu stats. I actually think Sabrina might have already been on it. She was, I think. Let's see. 19.5 points, 5.3 assists, 1.6 steals, 4.6 assists, 32% from 3. Well, is 40% from the field. Reese is the center. What else was it? I don't know. Ultimately, I'm not the person to ask, but picking Angel Reese over, I mean, a whole list of players seems a little bit crazy. There's an argument to be made that Angel Reese has benefited more from the whole Caitlin Clark quote-unquote beef than any other player in WNBA history. No, I don't know. Obviously, Caitlin Clark has helped the WNBA out a lot with views, ratings, improved quality of life for the players. But long story short, that seems like an absurd decision to me. No disrespect to Angel Reese, there are players significantly better than her. Brandon Carlson re-signed, new 2-way contract, Utes legend, King. Played 32 games, standout campaign for the OKC Blue. Thank you, Shams. Maybe he did, I don't know. I mean, they just need roster spots, why not? Like, from the games he played, I thought he was fine. Nothing crazy. Can maybe be a stretch, just be solid. I think he can be a totally fine third-string center at best, but, 2-way contract, why not? The Wizards are trading Kelly Olynyk to the Spurs for Milwaukee Branham, Yes, I know what malarkey means. Blake Wesley, a 2026 second-round pick, least favorable of Dallas, Philly, Oklahoma. Sources tell ESPN. Now, for those of you who know me, you know that I have often been critical of Kelly Olynyk, and I've often praised Kelly Olynyk. He is like, if I had bipolar disorder, which I don't, and I'm not meaning to make fun of bipolar disorder, but if I had bipolar disorder, my thoughts on Kelly Olynyk would represent my emotions. I liked him on the Jazz. Didn't like him on the Heat very much, even though he played okay on there. Where else has this bugger played? I didn't like him on the Pelicans. I thought he was okay on the Celtics. Right? Like, I don't know. I understand the move, but for Milwaukee, Blake Wesley, and that second round pick's nothing. That second round pick garbage. That second round pick is garbage, sorry. I need to rip my inhaler after this. I'm fat, have asthma, and have made some dumb decisions in my past. I don't know. That feels like a lot for Kelly Olynyk. I get it. Malachi Branham, Blake Wesley, neither have really proven a ton. But I mean, when was Malachi Branham drafted? It wasn't too long ago, no? Yeah, 2022, 20th pick. And 25th pick for Blake Wesley. Interesting. I get it. Neither have proved a ton. I was much lower on the Milwaukee than others. But Blake Wesley is at least interesting, and so is Malachi. Again, I'm not huge on either, but I think they have some potential. And for a guy who's probably going to be your third-string center, feels like a lot to give up, especially when you still have Charles Bassey, right? I think so. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Charles Bassey, Vic, you just paid all this money to Luke Cornett. Sandro left, but yeah, I don't know if I get this move for the Spurs. I get it. He can be an interesting fit next to Wemby, just somebody who can, hit some threes, hit some open shots, and be just a totally fine rotation player, which is something the Spurs have lacked. But I mean, I don't know. I feel like I would have tried to package that for maybe a wing. I'm like, let's look at their forward and center rotation. Bismack Biyombo, Harrison Barnes, Carter Bryant, Julian Champagnie, Harrison Ingram, Luke Cornett, Keldon Johnson, Riley Minix, Kelly Olynyk, Jeremy Sohan, Victor Wembanyama, Devin Vassell. I guess Vassell's a 2-3, but I don't know. This feels like a lot of wings for a team, or excuse me, a lot of power forward center players on a roster that just need wing depth. But we'll have to see how it plays out. I like the fit. I don't like the value they gave up for him, long story short. No shocker here, Chet. $250 million max extension. Again, those of you who know me would know I'm not as crazy on Chet as other people. If he's able to continue to show, or if he's able to continue the creation we saw from him at the beginning of the season, okay, this contract could be totally fine. But for a guy who hasn't been able to play much, and I understand the hip injury was sort of a freak accident, there's probably something to be said that, lack of muscle, fat, whatever, right? Like, I'm not a doctor. For a guy who hasn't been able to stay particularly healthy, for a guy who missed all of his first year, all of this year basically, feels like a lot. 82 games last year, admittedly, but your career high points per game is 16.5. 2.3 blocks is great, don't get me wrong. 8 rebounds. Improved rebounder a bit, but again, you still had to get Hartenstein because that was a flaw. 49% from the field with 38% from 3. about the same volume as last year, a little bit less, about 4 threes a game. I don't know. I feel like from year 1 to year 2, obviously, we weren't able to see any development. He didn't play year 1. Year 2 to year 3, with the exception to what I consider to be just sort of a hot streak, I feel like we didn't see a ton. In my eyes, Chet Holmgren could be an elite stretch center, best of the best, one of the better rim protectors in the league, right? Like I'm very high on his defense. If he could improve his perimeter defense, I think that elevates him to another tier. But at best, what is he? I just don't know. I get it. He was your starting power forward center on a team that just won the championship. But I have significant concerns about injuries. I have significant concerns about lack of development. And I have significant concerns on his upside. I mean, I don't know. I understand why they did it. I don't think I would have. I'm fine giving him a long-term contract. I'm fine giving him a good amount of money, right? Like, he's still young, has some potential, but a max feels like a lot. Like, let's see, 5 years. Well, he's making $50 million. Feels like a lot for Chet Holmgren. I'm not gonna lie. We'll have to see next year. Health could play a big part in it, but I don't know. Hopefully we can see him develop. Hopefully we can see him stay healthy. He's a fun player when he is healthy, but I just don't love it. Speaking of contracts I don't like, Devin Booker. 2-year deal, $145 million. It's a lot. Hey man, that's a lot. Let's look up NBA. No, I'm not getting Kawhi indubitably off my screen. Let's see. As of right now, Stephen Curry is making the most money in the league. Want to guess how much he's making? I'll give you a hint. This year, it's a little under 60 million. Next year, it's about 62 million. Devin Booker's about to make 70 million. Jason Tatum is making 70 million in 2029-2030. He is the only player currently who is on pace to make 70 million. Devin Booker is about to make 70 million. Now, again, I know I'm saying this a lot, but for those of you who know me, I'm someone who's thought Devin Booker is very overrated. Very talented, but very overrated. Maybe that was just within the spaces I was in. Who knows? Maybe consensus is where I was, but for a guy who we've seen, in my opinion, regressed, right? Like, his Delta and drip data agrees with me. For a guy who I feel like we've seen regress, for a guy who I think he's shown you can't really build a team around, for a guy who's shown he can't be your number one, for a guy who's shown he needs correct context, and for a guy who's shown he can't carry the load and be great, this feels like a lot of money for him. Now, obviously, one of the most talented scorers in our game. Not a bad passer, not a great passer, but not a bad passer. But I don't know, for somebody who's been considered this incredibly versatile star, somebody who can play defense, somebody who can pass, somebody who can play point guard, somebody who can defend shooting guards and small forward, like, that's just not what he is. He has a game that will always be fairly evergreen, right? Like, his game doesn't rely a lot on athleticism, so I'm not too worried about him being, 32 by the time this contract is done? Because he still had, I think, 2 years left on his deal, so it ends up being about a 4-year deal. But I don't know. For a guy who can't consistently make All-Star, feels like a lot. I guess, again, we'll have to wait and see. But when you're on a team with Kevin Durant, Bradley Beal, I feel like you can do better. I understand the three are redundant. I understand the fit's weird, but yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it. I think you reserve your 75 millions for players you can truly build a team around, and for players who could take you all the way. For players who give you a punching, fighter's chance. I don't think Devin Booker gives you that. Granted, there's very few guys who give you that, but again, when you're making like substantially more than Steph, then Joel, then Jokic, then KD, then Tatum, then Giannis, then AD, Butler, Dame, not now, of course, Beal, Brown, and his contract actually just basically matches 1-to-1 with Cat. When you're making substantially more than all of those guys, I feel like I want better results from you. Like, I wouldn't take him over Steph. I wouldn't take him over a healthy Joel, but I mean, I take him over Joel now. I, of course, would not take him over Jokic. I wouldn't take him over KD. I wouldn't take him over Tatum, not over Giannis, not over AD. Probably over Butler, but it gives me some pause. Probably over Dame now, but not over Dame before. Over Beal, yes. And I'd probably take him over Brown, but it's close. It's close. I also think Jaylen Brown is been a bit overrated, but I don't know. 75 million for scoring and some okay passing. Maybe it's just not for me. I don't know. Who's to say? Sorry, 5 years left on his deal, not 4. I don't know if this new contract has an option on the end. I have to assume it does. I don't know. And there's a little bit less news than I thought. Ultimately, so I'm filling time a little bit here, I know, but ultimately, I do respect him for staying, but I don't know. He's a Kobe stan, to say the least. Jordan McLaughlin, 1 year, $3 million deal. Fine. McLaughlin's a good third string emergency backup point guard. Like, fine. 1 year, $3 million for basically a bench filler. Okay. This one is bugging me. The Wizards re-signing 7-footer Tristan Vukcevic to a 2-way NBA deal. Why a 2-way? He's actually not bad. He is a solid NBA player. Why keep signing him to 2 ways? It hard caps you in a game limit. I actually think he's a pretty interesting fit next to Sarr. I think he can work with your Bob Carringtons. I think he can work with your Trey Johnsons. Why keep signing him to a 2-way? Maybe they convert him to a full contract, but I think he's a real NBA player. I think he's somebody who can give you solid 20, 25 minutes a night. And on a team like this, I think he could maybe even start. And for a team that's lacking center depth, like lacking people who can just play center, why not? I mean, even if it's a 1 year minimum, why not? Still fairly young, very talented, and an interesting player. Maybe not very talented, but young, fairly, pretty talented, and like a good NBA player at this moment, with potential to be a really solid NBA player. Phoenix Suns, Jesse Mermois as top assistant on Jordan Ott's staff. Mermois is like fine. Solid assistant coach for the Magic for a while. He's always been a guy who's, you'll see his name thrown out in potential head coaching positions before Doc Rivers or somebody fight. Hold on. Before Doc Rivers or somebody fills that position. Sorry. But yeah, I think this is a good pickup for the Suns. I don't know a ton about Moyes or what he wants to implement or what his opinion is, but oftentimes assistant coaches are much more, I don't want to say like babysitters, but sort of PR for the coach. Like they're going to be much more intimate with the players, oftentimes than the coach themselves. Team context, of course. Um, I think this one is fine. J Dub, J Will, 5-year maximum rookie contract extension, 200 could reach 287 million. I think this is fine. We have to give Jalen Williams his flowers, of course, but I think this is fine. I think he's probably a max. I mean, if Devin Booker's making 75 million, hell, maybe I'm a max player. But yeah, no, I think this is fine. Younger, on the younger side, still can improve. Like, I think this is totally fine. I don't have a ton to say on it, but that's probably a good thing. Marvin Bagley, 1-year deal to return to the Wizards. He got traded to Memphis at the February deadline. Memphis lost a first-round pick, salary dumped Marcus Smart, basically just for him. Marvin Bagley, not a good player, not an NBA player. But if the Wizards want to take a, not even a second, like a 5th team draft guy, why not at this point? Again, not a good player, but for a minimum, I think this is fine. Herb Jones, one of the better defenders in our league, if not the best. 3 years, $68 million extension, $97 million over 5 years with the Pelicans. I can't believe I'm saying this. I hate to say it, especially after the article that came out just sort of showing how dumb Joe Dumars and Troy Weaver are. If you haven't read it, go look it up. It's about the Atlanta Hawks and their reactions to being offered the trade that has the Pelicans and the Bucks first-round pick. One of them, better pick. It's really funny. Long story short, the Hawks had to call multiple times until they could finally get Joe Dumars or Troy Weaver, I think, on FaceTime and say, like, hey, are you actually the Pelicans? Are you real? Are you okay? You want to do this deal? Okay, done. Go read it. It's pretty funny, but Bartelstein coming through for his guys again, but 97 over 5 years ends up being a little bit under 20 million, and for Herb Jones, I think that's totally fine. Let's see how old Herb Jones is. Herb Jones age. Sage Herb Jones. Nope, that's not. 26, okay. Yeah, fine. I do have some injury concerns with him. I think there's always going to be some injury concerns with him. We saw he didn't play basically at all this year. I think he's played maybe like 10 games at the beginning of the year. But I think this is totally fine. 20 million for one of the better defenders in the league, I think, is great. Hats off to Troy Weaver and Joe Dumbass. Not a bad move. No, I'll say it. Not a bad move. So this is what the the Pacers had planned all along. Isaiah Jackson, 3-year, $21 million deal after tearing his Achilles. Let Miles Turner go, but we have Isaiah Jackson, guys. Don't you worry. We have Isaiah Jackson coming off one of the most traumatic injuries in sports. He's going to be great, I'm sure. Totally going to fit with no point guard. Don't you worry your little head. The Pacers are not tanking, all right? I love him, but Kent Sterling said it, guys, so don't even worry about it. Don't you fret your little head. All right? They traded back for their own pick just coincidentally, right? Like, they traded for fun, all right? Like, what are you talking about? They traded their pick for fun, okay? They traded their pick for fun. Yeah, I don't hate it. $7 million 3 years, not bad. I mean, if it doesn't work out, tradable contract, waivable contract, like, fine. They still need center depth. I still think they need to try and find a stretch big if they can. Maybe they tank for one. Maybe they hope Carlos Boozer falls to them or something. Like, I don't know. I'm not entirely sure what their plan is, but we'll have to see. We'll have to see. Value-wise, I think this is fine, but they need to do more. You can't really just sit on your laurels, lose probably your third best player, honestly. Third, maybe fourth, depending on your views on, like, Nembhard. But you can't just sit on your laurels, lose your third, fourth best player, have all your centers be injured and have that position be a problem depth-wise anyways, and then just re-sign one of your guys. You got to do something. You got to do something more. I love him, but I don't think the Pacers want Tony Bradley playing 20-plus minutes a night. Fred VanVleet been elected as the new president of the NBA PA, succeeding CJ McCollum. VanVleet begins a 4-year term as next NBA PA leader. I know nothing about VanVleet's financial skills. I know nothing about his negotiating skills. Heard he's a great dude, but we'll have to see. Maybe if Fred VanVleet was president, maybe if VanVleet was president, quite frankly, we would never have been in the apron system. I said to Adam Silver, a.k.a. Putin at the time, this is a horrible idea. Don't do this. All right? NBA fans everywhere are going to hate this. All right, what's next? Putting in a 65-game awards mandate? Yes. Yes, Mr. McCollum. Well, I guess in this situation, yes, Mr. VanVleet. It's my Russian accent. I said, that's crazy. That's crazy. Quite frankly, I hate that son of a bitch. I hope he fucking chokes on his McDonald's. VanVleet, new NBA PA. Okay. CJ coming back to an advisory position. Like, okay. Fine. So I know I'm sticking on this a little too long. I'm looking to see if there's any new information on it or anything I'm missing, but yeah, no, I think that's it. I think that's all I can find on that. I mean, there's no negotiations coming up with the Players Union and the NBA, so I just don't have a ton to say on it. Cole Anthony agreed to a contract buyout with the Memphis Grizzlies, plans to sign with the Bucks. I like this for the Bucks. It's basically just better Kevin Porter Jr. You still need somebody who can actually pass on that team outside of Giannis, but I think this is a fine swing for the Bucks. I think it sucks to let him go, especially because he was such a key part of that Bane trade. I'm never somebody who's been awfully high on Cole Anthony, but I think this is a fine swing, and I think he could be a nice enough add. You just need somebody who can handle the ball and play point guard. Like, if Cole was not there, or if Cole gets injured, we might see Gary Trent point guard minutes, and I think I'd rather commit unspeakable acts to prevent that. So yeah, I think this is fine for the Bucks. There's one more thing that we probably need to talk about, I guess. I don't want to, just because, like, this is what I kind of expected. Well, I can't even find any reports on that, but basically, from what I've seen, the Lakers, after LeBron James sort of bitched and moaned about the situation he was in with LA, have said, hey, you picked up your player option, nobody wants you, we're going to try and trade you, but chances are you're going to have to play out the year. Go from there. So, knowing LeBron, he'll be here 2 more years, right? I think he'll re-sign with the Lakers at some point. LeBron loves LA. Like I said, he's not going anywhere. As soon as he picked up that player option, I knew he wasn't going anywhere. If he wanted to go somewhere, he wouldn't have picked up that player option. we'll have to see who bites first. This does feel a little bit more serious about LeBron wanting to move. But I think this does guarantee us at least 2 more years of LeBron. I can't find the official... tweet. The Lakers want to move on from LeBron ASAP. 4 teams have contacted Rich Paul about trading for LeBron James. Yeah, that's basically all the information. I'll come back to you if anything new comes out. I'll keep my eye on it. I'm still waiting on restricted free agency to have anybody in restricted free agency move or just resign. I'm thinking if by the 14th, 15th maybe, next weekend at the latest, if we don't have anything about restricted free agency, I'll do a grading video. Just when there's some guys like Giddey, like Kuminga, like Grimes, who are all at risk of being paid way too much, or moved or traded, that would just affect my rankings potentially in a substantial manner for, potentially 10 teams, 3-team trades, whatever. But yeah, so anticipate that coming soon. I know I mentioned I would probably talk about the Ramsey Fitzpatrick trade. I just don't have the time for it per se. I'll say it here. I don't love it for both sides. Minkah, I understand not exactly what he was, but you need a safety, and Minkah's pretty damn good. Are you playing just him not him. Are you playing Ramsey at safety? Are you playing Slay at safety? Are you playing, we'll have to see. But I think they need a safety. And for the Dolphins, why pay him? Just why pay him? I know there were some picks moved, from what I recall, pretty insubstantial picks. Unsubstantial? Is that a word? Insubstantial? Yeah, no, I had that right. Yeah, I had that right. Come on. Pretty insubstantial picks. Not a ton to say on it. If any Colts news comes out, I'll let you guys know. But yeah, sorry. I work 9 to 5. I wasn't supposed to work today, but I did. So, again, I just don't have a ton of time. But yeah, I love you guys. Peace.